Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at advanced vocabulary for the picture description questions on the DET. These 25 words will improve your score instantly. Let's jump in. First, let's look at the words that you can use to describe the location of things in an image. On the left-hand side. On the right-hand side. In the upper left-hand corner, in the upper right-hand corner, in the lower left-hand corner, and in the lower right-hand corner. And here's how you can use these words in complete sentences, using this image as an example. On the left-hand side, there is a large crowd of people. On the right-hand side, there is an especially bright sign. In the upper left-hand corner, there are tall buildings. In the upper right-hand corner, there are tall buildings with bright signs. In the lower left-hand corner, there is a square. And in the lower right-hand corner, there is a subway entrance. Let's now look at more words that you can use to describe the location of things in an image. These words are a bit more complicated, so I'll provide some more explanation. First is in the distance. This means something that is far away or over there. In the background. This is similar to in the distance, but usually in the distance means even further away than the things in the background. In the foreground. The foreground is the opposite of the background. Things in the foreground are close to the camera, while things in the background are further away. Next, we have behind and in front of. So this hand is in front of this hand, or this hand is behind this hand. And here is how you can use these words in complete sentences. In the distance, there is a bridge. In the background, there are spectators. In the foreground is a dancer. Behind the dancer are spectators. In front of the spectators is a dancer. In the center is a dancer. If you want to practice picture description questions for the DET, then you should check out Arno. We give you unlimited practice questions for every question type on the test, including picture description questions. And if you purchase credits, then you can get feedback on your grammar and vocabulary. Here is an example right about the photo question in Arno. As soon as you submit your answer, then Arno will give you an estimated score. We'll also give you a breakdown of your vocabulary to tell you how much advanced vocabulary you are using. We'll point out your grammar mistakes and how to fix them. And if you don't understand why something is wrong, you can simply ask Arno to explain. We'll also give you vocabulary tips so that you can continue to level up your vocabulary and improve your score. And Arno will even rewrite your answer to make it sound like a native speaker wrote it. So, if you're ready to start practicing, just head to goarno.io to create your free account. Okay, let's get back to learning new vocabulary words. Next, we're going to look at words that you can use to describe things that you can see clearly in an image. All of these words are good alternatives to there is and there are that will help you score higher. In this image, I see. This image shows. This image depicts. Let's now look at an example of each of these. In this image, I see a dancer performing for some spectators. This image shows a dancer performing for some spectators. This image depicts a dancer performing for some spectators. All three of these words mean the same thing, and you can use different ones in different picture description questions on the test that will also help to raise your score. Next, let's look at words to describe things that are somewhat unclear. You can use these words to express when you have uncertainty about what you see or when it is difficult to see a certain thing. I can make out. It appears that. There appears to be. It seems that. Let's now use these words in sentences using this image. In this image, it's a bit unclear what's happening on the other side of the windows, but it looks like there's people sitting at tables. So we could say, I can make out people sitting at tables. It appears that there are people sitting at tables. There appears to be people sitting at tables. It seems that people are sitting at tables. Finally, we'll cover vocabulary that allows you to speculate about an image. Speculating is a great way to come up with ideas for things to talk about when describing an image. For more information on this strategy, check out this video. There's also a link to it down in the description. When you want to speculate about an image, you can use these terms. It is not clear. It is difficult to say. It is difficult to tell. Whether, or, I'll give you an example for that. Perhaps. It may be the case that. Okay, let's look at some example sentences. It is not clear where this is. It is difficult to say where this is. It is difficult to tell where this is. It is difficult to tell whether this is an office building or a shopping mall. So you can see that whether or is good when you want to say you can't tell if it's one thing or another thing. Perhaps this is a shopping mall. It may be the case that this is a shopping mall. Let's now move on to 3 example images that we'll describe together. So that you can practice, I will give you a 1-minute timer and you can write out your response, and then I will share my response and you can compare. Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and go. Okay, time's up. Let me share my response. This image shows a woman walking with her bicycle. In the background, I can make out some items like balloons and toys. It is difficult to tell, but her bicycle is loaded up with what appears to be coconuts and green plastic bags. It is not clear whether she is leaving the market or arriving to it. It appears to be hot because she is wearing a large hat and a scarf to protect herself from the sun. Let's turn to example image number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Let me share my response. In this image, I see a worker on a construction site. He is in the center of the image, and around him is dirt and wood structures. Behind him, in the upper right-hand corner, is a large orange dumpster and concrete slabs. On the right-hand side of the image, there is also what appears to be fresh concrete that is drying. Perhaps the man is a supervisor who is inspecting the work to make sure that it was done properly. Okay, are you ready for the final image that we'll describe together? 3, 2, 1, go. Time's up. Let me share my response. This image depicts a quiet street. The sun is intense, and in the distance, the sky is bright blue, so it seems that it is midday. The house on the left-hand side is stone, but the other houses are painted vibrant colors. It appears that this is a residential street because there are clothes hanging out to dry. You now know 25 words that you can use on picture description questions to instantly get a higher score. If you want to keep practicing picture description questions, just head to goarno.io and create your free account. That's all for today, and see you next time.